players met the Warlock's patron, went insane, and then were hurled through the astral sea to die. So the session's canceled. Welcome. I'm back. And we're going to be doing another anniversary episode.
No.
50 part 3.
No, just stop with the anniversary thing. Just drop it. Drop it.
Yo, he really was like, knock, knock, motherfucker, I'm back. Fuck yeah, dude.
I also realized I don't think I introduced you guys last time like a dickhead.
You might not have, but
Probably not.
If they don't know who we are by now, I don't fucking...
Doesn't matter, Isaiah. There's a system. We have a system. Don't break the system.
Yeah. But I'm here once again with the men of D&D culture themselves. My boys, not boy. God, that would be weird if you guys were like, you ever watch that movie?
We're one person. We're just the voices in your head.
Yeah.
Who've been speaking separate to you for a few weeks now.
for years.
We've disembodied from Matt's physical. No, never mind. This is getting
We're stands, but we're like sentient stands. We're part 5 stands. Is what it is.
So got that scene from Inside Out. We're just like, let go, Matt. No. Well, I'm here with Josh and Isaiah.
Yep.
No, that's not. No. All right.
What?
No, Matt, do it properly.
I'm here with Isaiah and Josh.
No, you have to. I don't understand how we've lost it. You're supposed to go. You're supposed to so. I'm here with Josh. Pause. I respond. I'm here with Isaiah. Pause. Isaiah responds. That's the system.
That's not as funny.
Well, now we're just. I don't even care anymore. I'm off. I'm going out the nearest window. Fuck this shit.
It's all right. Do it. Do a flip.
I will do a flip for you. Good. Just for you.
Can you imagine like a dude jumping out the window? So just do a flip. Oh, what's that? Do you guys ever watch the ASDF like cartoon clips?
The what?
ASDF, ASDF cartoons on YouTube. Look, they're funny, like really short. They're basically my type of humor kind of cartoons.
Fair enough.
And they have a bit where a guy, he's standing on top of a building, open window, dude down below. Wait, don't jump. Turns the record button on his camera. Okay, now jump.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I see.
I love that shit.
Okay. That's fantastic. I love that shit.
All right, but anywho's, and I am here with Josh.
We're not doing it anymore. I've given up.
And Isaiah.
What's up, Matt? How you been?
Oh, I saw John Wick yesterday. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Love Keanu, but you guys ever get that feeling like, have you actually, so I know Isaiah, you've seen the John Wick movies. Josh, have you seen them at all?
No.
So I don't know if it's just Keanu or he's like, this is how John Wick. I don't remember John Wick having this like delay reaction. Anytime he's talking to somebody in conversation, it'll be like, it's like, hey, John, you got shot in the foot.
Well, it definitely.
And you're just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely wasn't. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the third movie. I just saw the revolver bit from the third movie, but I do know the first two.
Sick.
That must have been like a weird editing thing, like a weird stylistic choice. Maybe like he's just so tired from all the fighting. Like maybe.
Probably. I don't know. It just sounds like he needs an extra minute to process, and he's just like.
It sounds like you're accusing Keanu of having the tism.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like it's a noticeable thing when John Wick's talking to someone. It's like
fuck.
It's like, hi John, how are you doing? He's processing the information. He's processing every single word, and then he struggles like a motherfucker to respond. He's like, I'm doing well, and he's just like, question mark. Well,
I heard a lot of like. Even like a lot of the fight scenes in the new movie were like a lot slower than his usual pace. So maybe he's just getting older.
Maybe. I mean, the new movie was fucking.
Maybe John Wick got brain damage from getting his ass beat too much.
Yeah.
He did get his ass beat a lot across
all
7.5 hours of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
So speaking of movies, Matt, I'm just wondering, will you go watch Shin Kamen Rider with us?
No, Isaiah, really? Right now. Right now we're doing this? Right now. No, I'm ixnaying this conversation. Matt, please bring us into the topic.
You're not the host, bitch.
Oh my God, Matt, please don't do this.
I'm in the driver's seat.
We're not doing this right now. No, this is a normal we are not about to have a normal ass conversation while we're recording. I refuse.
So if you guys can play Kamen Riders in D&D, how would you build?
Well, honestly, to be honest, the actual self monk is kind of that. They even reference the whole like grasshopper thing, and it does like speak about it being like either like a ghost behind you, like a stand, or a suit of armor, like a rider. So you really could just do actual self monk. Maybe throw in like a few levels of barbarian, depending on the rider, or maybe some like wizard for some of the crazier abilities, like Decade has.
I'm trapped in a prison of my own making.
You are, yes.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, like, after watching the movie, I'm like, all right, what class would John Wick be? And I'm just like, I don't know, but he definitely maxed health, because fuck.
He put it all in the gun.
Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a scene where he falls down a flight of 200 stairs. And I feel so fucking bad for the man.
And Matt's players also fell down a flight of 200 stairs in his 3-year campaign. So, Matt, where are we at?
Speaking of... Let's just talk about John Wick, guys.
No.
Anyways,
I'm good with this.
Yeah, but so before, as I always do, after I record these episodes, something will come to my mind. I'm like, fuck, let me just play this real quick.
Matt, you're gonna have to give us a recap what happened even last time, because I don't even totally remember.
Right. Well, I'll get to that when we get to the thing, but just a couple of notes I want to mention just for the people who didn't.
Shouldn't you start with the recap first?
No. During the whole Yuan-ti bit that happened, that's where the beef jerky joke came from. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes, I do remember this fucking joke.
One of my players, it was the boss that specifically he took the boss and he's like, oh, I can make snake jerky out of this. And I was like, Chris, Yuan-tis are monstrosities. Monstrosities are just mutated like people or animals like fused together or some shit. He's like, but he's not a person anymore, right, Matt? I can still eat him. It's perfectly fine. And so he went throughout Yuan-ti abominations are fucking massive. So he just had an endless like supply of Yuan-ti beef jerky all the time.
You can't jerky the entire body.
Well, he can jerky whatever bits he could. I don't.
Also, with his muscle, you can jerky.
Yeah.
Also, jerky takes a long time to make.
Yeah.
Like a long time.
Yeah, you had a whole campaign.
No, I'm talking like. I'm about to look this up.
How long does it take to actually do that?
Yeah.
But so he had endless supply of Yuan-ti abomination jerky that he would give out to random people without telling them like what it was. He'd be like, yeah, it's just my own special beef jerky. Just try it out. It's great. I think he even fed it to a Yuan-ti later.
Yo, your fucking players out here committing actual war crimes. I like.
Yeah, there's some crimes against humanity type shit.
It's fine. They're evil. It's monstrosities. It's fine. Everything's fine.
What about the people you were feeding them to?
Oh, the normal people? Yeah, that was a thing.
Insanity.
But yeah.
Did anyone stop and go, hey, are we the bad guys?
No.
A little bit. A couple times throughout this campaign.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Okay.
A couple of times.
All right, did anyone during the jerky debacle go, are we the baddies?
No.
Animals.
No, they all just went, ew, we're not eating that. And then towards the end of the campaign, they, like war veterans dealing with some shit. Hey, Chris, you have any more of that jerky, man? I could really use a pick-me-up right now.
Oh, my God.
So apparently it only takes like a day to make jerky, but that's with modern technology. So I don't know how long it would take to dehydrate the old-fashioned way.
Snake person meat?
In the sun.
Probably a few days.
I feel like more than
we
that.
probably wouldn't do it in the sun. You do it in like a smoke room.
What do you think? His players just had a portable smoke room on hand?
I mean, they had a whole house. I don't know why not.
There we go.
I guess. I fucking guess.
It's fantasy, Josh. It's fine. Anything's possible in your imagination.
No. I reject that statement on multiple levels.
Shame.
Oh, what else? During the shenanigan arc, as I've now dubbed it, the Stronghold and Followers book did come out. I think when my players it was right around the time they went to White Plume Mountain, which gave them a whole bunch of fucking abilities that made them even more powerful than they already fucking were.
Powerful.
Yeah. Like some of the things they did, like it would allow them to add additional effects to their spells. So the Bill Murray wizard, he had an effect where when he casts his signature or his specific fireball spell, it would deal necrotic damage instead, and it healed him afterwards.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
that's one of the things in the Stronghold book, and it's
Matt,
like,
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
Yeah, listen, even in the book, Matt Colville's like, listen, a lot of this stuff is overpowered as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he just left it at that. He didn't even say, I'm sorry. He didn't even be like, here's how you can balance stuff. No, he's just like, yeah, this is overpowered as fuck. But man, is it cool? And it's like, yeah, it is cool.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Matt Colville. It is very cool. Also, headache inducing for Dungeon Masters.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Fucker.
Okay.
In addition,
display of hubris, but okay.
Yeah.
what else? I mentioned that they got some henchmen shit. Like, I didn't go into specifics, I think, on some of the henchmen they got with the Stronghold. Like,
No, you did. Oh, you did.
No, on top, no. The henchmen that they hired were not a part of the Stronghold follower rules
Jesus
stuff.
Christ.
So
Give
how
them more.
yeah, they got more.
Bro.
So basically, when the Stronghold and follower rules came out, basically the players, I think every time they leveled up the Stronghold, they got to roll on a table, and there was a specific table per character class. So some of my players got like a squad of like I think one player got like a squad of elven knights. So they got like a whole little squad guy of elven knights. Another one got an assassin who also happened to be like a I think this was for the Hexblade player. So it was a librarian assassin dude who would, spy on people and kill people with his garrote wire, but also would be able to hand down information on the warlock patron and give info to the player back and forth. Another one, fucking Chris. And some of the monsters and some of the people you can get as henchmen on the tables are ridiculous. Like, Chris got a young sapphire dragon as a friend.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah. And so the sapphire dragon, basically, it wasn't like a pet. It wasn't like he owned it. It was basically a young sapphire dragon lives in the surrounding neighborhood around your house. And if you're nice to the dragon, it will defend your home. So Chris would specifically try and spend time to, he built the dragon a little nest on the roof of their stronghold. He would try and hang out and talk to the dragon and just basically kind of learn what the fuck is the deal with gem dragons.
okay.
Yeah. That was nice. And then Joe specifically got Dwayne the Dow Johnson, who was more so a meme than anything.
Ah, yes.
I hate you.
Yes.
This one I remember.
Yes.
I'll
try and find the picture at some point, but basically Joe, when the book came out, he rolled and he got a Dow as his stronghold companion. And because me and Joe are both wrestling nerds, I found art someone made of The Rock as a Dow genie stone man.
Of course you do.
And then the players met him and specifically built a wrestling ring
Matt,
inside their stronghold.
Please tell me you still have this art.
Yeah, I'll find it.
At this point, I fucking need it. I need to see this.
But they basically built a wrestling ring for him specifically, and they would hold tournaments and stuff to make money. He was always the champion, so I think only Krug beat him, but that was when Krug was 18th level or some shit. So he was Krug was already redonkulously overpowered at that point against a Dow, and it's all right. Yeah.
Was that it? I thought there was more stories to Dow the Rock Johnson.
No, that was basically it. Oh, here we go. I found the picture for you guys.
Oh my word.
It's beautiful, right?
That's right.
That's not what I was expecting.
It's The Rock as a stone man. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just not what I pictured when you said that.
No, I just pictured The Rock with weird rocky textures for skin. Yeah, I mean this checks out.
This is okay. All right.
Yeah. But now back to our normal scheduled program. Yeah. So TLDR, last time on Dragon Ball Z, my players, they were at a monk monastery. We were doing Chris's character stuff for A session. Supposed to be an important bit for him. Not anymore.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to go on for a while. I forgot about that.
Yep.
And then your player said, Lamau.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I will.
It's like, it's the most extreme version of you present a cave in front of your players, and then you also describe how there's a white rabbit next to the cave, and then the players just fucking follow the white rabbit. This is the most extreme fucking version of derailing I've ever seen in my life.
It fucking, yeah. No, I got nothing on that one. Yeah.
But
you put the rabbit in front of them.
I did put I did allow it to. I could have been like,
you could have said no.
I could have paused. I've been like, hey Joe, let's pause for a moment. Hey bud, I thought I told you to give me a fucking week. What are you doing here? I could have done that, but
yeah.
I could have, but you know what?
You didn't.
I didn't. I rode the ride. It was fucking hilarious. But players went to like the border of the Far Realm and the Astral Sea. Met Joe's patron, who's like this big shadow, gray, old one, tentacled Cthulhu, Slender Man kind of dude.
Now, was his patron the King in Yellow, or was that?
No, the King in Yellow.
That was the bad patron, right?
No, the King in Yellow was a servant of Joe's patron.
Oh. Yeah.
I used the Seer stat block from Tome of Foes at the time. And basically, this was Joe's patron's second in command dude, who basically is like, his Pope version or whatever. And Joe's character was climbing the ladders of the, quote unquote, Church of, Great Old One. And so the King in Yellow Seer guy was like, all right, this dude's being a problem. I need to take him out so that I can like hold my position in the weird Church of the Great Old One. And so as the players were leaving, realizing that they are stuck there for 24 hours while Joe's character had to wait for his Mystic Arcanum spell slot to come back, the King in Yellow attacked them with a Mind Flare like Intelligence Blast. Most of the players failed to save except for the Barbarian. And as the King in Yellow with his giant tentacles yeeted the players out into the Astral Sea, where they basically were floating in space, the Barbarian managed to float himself over there by harpooning.
Yes, that's when he harpooned
the teenage
their allies.
NPC. Yeah. And then pulling himself to the entire group of players, where they were then pulled up by, I said they fell last time. I showed it was a tractor beam, nonsense that pulled them onto a just so happened to be flying by Githyanki pirate ship.
Yeah, just so happened to, conveniently just convenient.
Yeah, so this is where the dragon annihilated them, correct?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Yeah. So for the whole Githyanki bit, I'm gonna do the thing where I describe what was my intentions, and then I'll describe what happens afterwards, which I did tell last time in the Great Joke video, like way long ago. But so around doing all this stuff, and because this now space adventure got thrust upon me, I was like, oh shit, all right, I gotta come up with something. So I looked at a lot of stuff from the 4th edition Astral Sea book. I also looked at a lot of the Mordenkainen and Tome of Foes stuff, and I basically randomly rolled on an entire giant, massive Githyanki pirate crew with a high-ass CR level captain, and they have an Eldritch Knight in there, a butt ton of fully armed Githyanki warriors, and the plates and the swords and everything. And then on the tables, they rolled for special creatures, and I happened to roll 2 young red dragons. Or were they young?
Red dragons, doesn't matter.
Yeah, they were young. Yeah.
They were murdered regardless.
Yeah, they were red dragon. Yeah.
Irrelevant. They're dragons.
So basically, this whole ass ship, and my idea originally was that this was not supposed to be a combat encounter. It was supposed to be, oh shit, look how armed they are, and look how outnumbered we are. And originally, I had the Gith they beam the players on board. All the players are unconscious at this point, and they tie everybody to the mast except for Krug.
How did Githyanki have a fucking tractor beam?
I don't know. It's fantasy. It's fine. It didn't matter.
I mean, all the Gith are psionic as fuck, so like
they could have mined, telekinesis them, but I just was like, the ship does it.
You just didn't even bother to justify it.
I mean, if I really wanted to, because again, at this time, the whole like Spelljammer confirmed bit was going on the internet, and I was looking up some Spelljammer stuff, but I didn't want to go and I didn't look into the detail of like, does a ship have a tractor beam? It's like, if I describe to my players, there's a pirate ship floating in space, and it has a tractor beam that pulls you in. You could spare. Your disbelief can be like, oh yeah, it's a fancy pirate ship in space. It's I've seen
from Spelljammer. The Githyanki from Spelljammer?
I don't know if they're from Spelljammer originally. I know they came out in the Fiend Folio before that, but Githyanki, they're actually in the new Spelljammer stuff as well. They're heavily featured in there as creatures and stuff, because Githyanki are basically like space Viking pirates, and they fly around the Astral Sea, which the Astral Sea is a part of the wild space and Spelljammer. It's how you get to different wild spaces, quote unquote, through the Astral Sea.
Apparently, the Githyanki first appeared in White Dwarf number 12.
That means nothing.
Is that a magazine?
White Dwarf, yeah, it was a game magazine. It's where a lot of like Warhammer stuff was posted back in the day.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was like a gaming magazine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound like the first. So that's the first place they might have existed in general, but that doesn't sound like the first time they existed.
No, yeah, that's the first time they ever appeared was in Warhammer's White Dwarf number 12 back in
Warhammer.
No, but Warhammer was the company that made the magazine, but other people put stuff in the magazine.
It was a generalized tabletop magazine, I'm assuming.
Right, but what I'm saying is it sounds like they existed as something different before they were put into D&D. Then someone took them from that magazine and put them into D&D.
It doesn't seem like it. They existed since first edition, and White Dwarf number 12 came out in June or July in 1977.
Jeez.
I don't. All right, whatever.
Their original art, by the way, is
hilarious.
Have you seen that?
I love how funny it is. The weird skeleton like.
They're pretty
yopped. Yeah, with their fucking Oompa Loompa hair. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty yopped up.
And they had weird. Oh, that's right. Then they had Oompa Loompa like afros.
They also had like a mummy thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Because they followed the Lich god of Githyanki, or not god. Their leader is the Lich, basically, Githyanki Lich lady.
Fucking
interesting.
Yeah. But anywho, so these guys, this whole entire pirate crew of Githyanki in the Astral Sea, picked up the players, tied all the unconscious ones to a mast. Krug's character in his backstory, being the Goliath Barbarian, was that he was a pirate. So he took charge and was like, oh, I'll negotiate for our group. Don't worry, guys. I got this. Players are sweating bullets waiting to be like, Matt, does my character wake up yet? Matt, does my character wake up yet? And so what I had originally planned was that I had planned a Guardians of the Galaxy type of mini adventure, especially since again, this is when people started talking about Spelljammer. And so I'm like, oh, I can use some of this as inspiration. My idea was that the Githyanki would, in exchange for some money, take the players back to the Far Realm. Maybe they would have some Astral Sea encounters that I picked up from the 4th edition book, and see cool things in space, and have fun pirate space adventures, Treasure Island shit. And then they would get to the Far Realm, fight some Cthulhu nonsense. Joe could get revenge on the King in Yellow and take his place as, Shadow Cthulhu God's, second dude. Like many things in my campaign, that is not what fucking happened.
Yeah, and that's when the plan fell apart.
Yeah, exactly. So Krug, decided to negotiate. And he was doing so badly. Not that he was rolling badly. He did the thing like Grog did in Critical Role, where he was buying potions from the dude, and the guy's like, I'll sell it to you for 5 gold. And then Grog, I'll buy it for 30 gold. Mm-hmm. So Grog's like, all right, if you let us all go, I'll give you all their stuff. And so the players are like, Ragnar, what are you doing? He's like, I think one of them has like a magic like dragon sword. Another one's got like a cool cloak over there. I don't need any of that shit. That dang
I don't need any of that shit.
Yeah, he was just offering up all the player shit. And so I was laughing because I'm like, again, in the background, I'm like, as a DM, I'm not actually going to take all their shit. But the Gith might just be like, playfully be like, listen, he said he'd give us the stuff. Like, come on. Like, do a little back and forth. But yeah, that didn't happen. So while the players are freaking out, finally, some of them are, you guys are starting to wake up, starting to realize what's happening. Chris is the first person to wake up, decides to wake up the rest of the group, and then because he's a shadow monk, he shadow steps out from the rope that he was tied to the mast and punched the nearest Githyanki warrior in the face, basically knocked him off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when, again, the hat flip, I'm like, oh no.
That was all he could think of? That was the plan?
Yeah, just throw hands. Like,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Look, hey, gospel of violence. I appreciate you, but also there's a dragon.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, maybe because of the situation, I can understand like why he's like, all right, I'm tied up. Krug is trading away all my fucking magic items. I need to do something to get out of here. And because I did, like, I put them, this is also probably on me. If I put like splash art or something, probably that would change anything, but I put a literal battle map of the spaceship because I thought the map was cool. It was a big ship. I had every Gith on there, the dragons. So this is something like another, like, learn from my mistakes. Like, if you don't intend for combat as a DM, don't put your players on a fucking battle map. Find some sort of splash art of something that's close enough. If you're using, this is all like, if you're using a digital tabletop or virtual tabletop, by the way. Find like a splash art of some, if you're doing a space pirate themed thing, find art of a space pirate ship that looks exactly like you want. Put the tokens on the map so your players know who they're talking to. And there you go. Don't put a fucking battle map, because then immediately the players will think that you're supposed to be fighting here. And again, that's something I think that was probably the thing. I'm like, I shouldn't have probably done that because they probably just assumed this was meant to be a combat encounter.
If I may, I can't speak for your players, and I'm not saying anything about your players like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like situational literacy, right? But I have done the same thing where I've put a battle map in front of the players, and they were like, we're not fighting, right, GM? I'm like, if you don't want to. But that's what you're looking at, bud. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're not necessarily wrong here, Matt. But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know. I don't think you should make any like, just because a GM put a battle map down, it's like, don't assume things. It might have just been the best. Like, I don't know. I've heard stories like this before, and I'm like, players, you gotta have a little more wherewithal and remember that, like, it's a tabletop game. You have, infinitely more options. Like, if it was a video game, understandable, but it's a tabletop game. You have way more options than you think. Like, I don't know. Use your brains a little bit. I don't know.
I'm not saying all that, but
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying, like, pay attention a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the last thing that happened was they got blindsided by a mind flare, like, tentacle dude in a gold cloak. They got knocked the fuck out. They wake up. They're tied to a ship. Yeah. They're seeing a bunch of these alien-looking dudes.
I guess what I'm getting at here.
And then Krug is specifically talking to him, selling their stuff. So they're all immediately like, they went from panic mode to even more panic mode.
I guess what I'm getting at here is, I don't think you did anything wrong, Matt. I will
agree with that. Yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong.
I think placing the battle maps, that is a good, because it's true, sometimes battle maps are a good layout of, like, this is what you see. This is the layout of the area you're in. It's like, putting a battle map down, I don't think you shouldn't have done that. The only thing you maybe could have done was, like, if the players were in the mentality of, oh, we have to fight, just make the statement of like, you don't have to fight. I'm just showing. You know what I mean?
I probably should have said that.
Like say, yeah, just say something.
Yeah, because I think the other thing was I didn't get to that point yet.
Yeah, well, a lot of that's a weird thing. A lot of GMs get kind of afraid to do the thing where like DMs don't want to do the video game tutorial message, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of GMs are afraid to do the thing where the game pauses and a big pop-up screen shows up on screen and tells you the tutorial of how to do the thing. It's like GMs are afraid to do that. All the GMs always want to do their tutorials like Metal Gear Solid, where the characters say really weird things as like there's like literally in Metal Gear Solid, you will get a codex call and they straight up will say Snake, to fire your gun, you press the action button. That's like actual written dialogue in the game.
Yeah, I remember playing some of Metal Gear Solid 5 and I was like, oh yes.
Yeah. Characters will say that to you and it's like GMs want to do that. It's like, no, guys, just put the game on pause for a second and just say something as an out of character, above board thing and just explain. You know, like it's okay. You can put things on pause.
My players have realized that there are certain phrases and things that I say that mean certain things, and then I'll immediately say what it means afterwards. So like a player will be like, "Oh, you notice that your Ray of Frost doesn't do that much damage to the ice golem, i.e. it's resistant." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." Or
I
like,
have literally,
you see this creature's on its last leg. It's got like less than 10 HP.
Yeah, I mean
something like that.
Yeah, the funny thing with the resistance situation is because resistances are binary, right? It's either you have half resistance or you don't. I don't even bother anymore. I literally just say verbatim, the creature takes half damage from your spell. I just say it.
Okay.
I just give it up because trying to be like, oh, it doesn't do as much damage as you hope. There's no point. The players know it's either half or nothing. Those are the only. It's a binary.
I don't know. I still want that little DM description, like, ooh.
For other things, yes, but for that particular example, I've just given up because there's no way to do it without sounding goofy. Like,
I honestly, I just do it to be a shit.
I mean.
You know, it doesn't do as much as you think it probably should have. And they're like, oh, so it's resistant. Okay. Like, I'm doing it cheekily.
I mean, if you're doing it to be a shit, that's fine. I'm just saying, Isaiah, you can vouch. I've just given up on that one.
Correct, yes.
I just like, fuck it. It does have damage.
Maybe it's just me then. Because I like doing that. I don't know. It's still like.
If it was a mechanic.
I'm doing the tutorial thing while also like, if it trying to be like the DM behind the screen thing.
I don't know. Like,
if you can do it, like I do it. I'm just cheeky about it.
Yeah, you could do it. It's like, it's just if it was a mechanic where resistance was like based on a die or a number that could be variable or something, then fine, right? Like, oh, like if the way resistance worked was when you get hit with an attack you're resistant to, roll a d10 and subtract that amount, and that's the resistance, then I would be a little more obfuscated about it. But because the players, if they have literally any functioning brain cell, can go, oh, half damage, it's like, it's like AC. Once your players have done the math and figured out the AC, just tell them. Like, there's no point in continuing to be weird, like, you can't tell, you know what I mean? Well, that's what I mean. Like, some DMs are so obsessed with doing that. It's like, just let it go, guys.
No, I do the thing where, like, let's say a creature has a 15 AC and they roll a 14. I'm like, you just missed. So they say, like, oh, I just missed. Oh, that means his AC's 15.
See,
I'm like, okay.
I would do that from time to time, but my players have gotten in the habit of just tracking and asking each other what the hit was and then just doing the math, so I don't even bother anymore. Like, Sam will be like, all right, a 16 doesn't hit. Isaiah, what'd you roll? Oh, I got a 19. All right, so it's either a 17 or an 18. And I'll be like, okay. I don't even bother. They just do the math themselves. But also, I have
that's very good.
My player is I have. Again, Isaiah can vouch for this. The 4 players I have currently have gotten into quite the system of tactical stratagems. I mean, when the battle starts, they start doing military battle tactics shit, and I'm just like,
it's like, all right, X-Men maneuver 17.
Literally, there's certain, they literally have maneuvers. They have tricks that they do on the regular. That's like, all right, we're gonna do the thing.
I need to, after the game, I will show you the link, and/or I will give you one of the Arcadium issues where they have team like maneuvers that you can actually give your players. Yeah. It's so cool. I'm trying to figure out a point to throw that in my game, but I haven't found the right time yet. Mm-hmm. Soon TM.
So
I
think it's
remember.
interesting.
Side note: I remember for a specific
What the
fight.
fuck?
Huh?
I was like right about to say.
I know. I sorry. I just had a thought right as you were talking. But I remember for a specific fight, my players literally designating who was going to take out the ads and who was going to focus the boss.
Yeah.
See, all my players just beeline to the boss and they ignore the fucking ads.
Nah.
Well, in all fair, it's because Josh's ads are never ads. They still deal about like a third, like
A lot of
3/4
damage.
as much damage as the boss.
Yeah.
So for the ads, I'm like, okay, guys, I'll just take care of this. They can't hit me anyway. I'll just stand there and be an asshole till we kill them or I kill them.
What were you gonna say beforehand, Isaiah? Though.
Oh, goddamn it! What was I gonna say? He killed my train of thought.
It's been a minute.
Son of a bitch. Oh, it was about using like coded language. Yeah, no, I totally like, yes, do that. And like when it comes to talking above board, I've never once hesitated. It's because, you know, we just had a player die, right? Like last session, or a character die, sorry. And I told them, like, you know, every time something that comes up, especially in the, like, I dropped the battle map down and the fight hasn't started yet. I'm like, you're at a crossroads. This can go real well or real poor. Choose your actions wisely. And to this day, they've never been like, we'll be fine. They've always been like, the GM is literally saying, choose your, like, someone will remember this.
Yeah, it's the it's the scene in the game where the game gives you the warning. It's like, once you start this mission, you are in the final leg of the game. Do all your other shit first. It's that energy of like, pause, hold on.
That's all I had.
Sure, Chris, Shadow Step, punched a Githyanki off the ship. All the other Githyanki, you know, begin pulling out their swords. The two dragons look very Anga. And the captain and Krug, who are talking at the moment, you know, the captain's like, oi, hey, ran in your dude. And then Krug pulled out his battle axe and was like, my what? And this was, again, another big ass fight. I think we started the session with the players like waking up on the Gith ship, and it became a massive fucking combat that lasted the whole session, which I will just say, like, high end D&D.
Wait, they fought the whole ship?
Yeah.
Oh Christ.
Yeah.
And only one of them died?
Two technically. A third one got banished to another dimension.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So high level D&D, especially when I realized that combat ended up taking, like, if not
a while,
half the session, the whole fucking session. And it wouldn't even be like, oh, like this is a medium encounter. It's still taking half the fucking session. Like,
I don't know if I have it.
I don't know. And they were only level 13. That's the other crazy thing. They were only 13.
Well, I mean,
and we were having this issue.
If you're dealing with high,
I also technically had a big group. That's the other thing. I have a
this
big
is
group.
true.
So
You did have a big group.
I had six players, 7 players at this time.
With the more standard 4-player situation, the pacing I've generally, because in our last session, my players did 4 combats in a session, right?
Oh, wow.
3 or 4.
What was that?
How many combats you guys do? Like 3, right? Last session?
Encounters
In the dungeon? Like 3, I think.
Yeah, because it was the 2 goobers that in the first room.
No, it was forge room. Forge room, downstairs,
forge room,
hallway,
downstairs, hallway,
library,
and the prayer room.
Yeah, so 3. Oh, and the 4. Yeah, 4. The prayer room too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4. So yeah, my players did 4 fights in a session. One of which they ended a little bit prematurely because bad guys gave up.
To be fair though, like, we do a comical amount of damage.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with that so much as it's just a case of when you're doing if you're doing hard or deadly encounters a lot, yeah, fighting's gonna take forever. But if you break things up into lots of small, easy encounters, things do tend to be quite a bit snappier. And I think the main reason for that is just because Because like most of the monsters you guys fought last session were CR5 and down, with a couple of small exceptions. Like one of the purple dragon dude was the mastermind. I think is like maybe CR9.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like if you break it up, you break your encounters up across the smaller stuff, it seems to be way less of a thing. And I think that it's just one of those things. I feel like what I've noticed is just that the intended balance, or not balance, the intended flow, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
is really supposed to be wearing players down over a period of time with a bunch of small things and then bigger fight. But most people don't run it that way. And most people go kind of overboard into the Let
me throw a deadly encounter and then a hard encounter, then a deadly encounter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then two medium encounters back to back.
And it becomes a thing where it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna feel like the fighting. Because the other thing too about monsters, whoa, I just whacked the shit out of my mic. The other thing about like encounter balance and stuff is when hold on, train of thought needs to reorganize itself. Pause. Yeah, okay. When you're dealing,
there go my thoughts.
No, I was just out. They were jumbling on top of each other. When you're dealing with high level 5e, right? Because of the relatively, I don't want to say flat because that's not quite the right word, but it's the word everybody uses, so whatever. The relatively flat math of 5e, right? The fact that a CR half goblin could potentially hit a level 15 fighter, right? Right?
Yeah.
Because of the sort of relatively flat math of D&D, what happens is when you get into higher level D&D, those easy and medium encounters will involve CR 3 to 5 enemies. Right? Oh, by the way, the Draconian Mastermind is actually lower than I thought. He's only CR 6.
Yeah.
And like the Draconian Mages, which my players also fought, were CR 2, and my players are level 15. Right? You still get usage out of those lower CR guys. So what ends up happening is when you have higher level players and you're doing easier encounters, you're using simpler monsters, so it makes things a lot snappier.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that is supposed to be the intended flow. And that's part of the reason they did the flat math is so you could use lower CR dudes for easier encounters.
Yeah.
It definitely does seem to be like weighing that way for sure.
Yeah. I mean, literally like the Draconian Mastermind dude is CR 6. The Dragon Speakers in the library were CR 2. The Dragon Mages are CR 2.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Back up. Hold on. There are dragon people in your setting, and you would not let me be a Dragonborn Druid?
We weren't allowed to play them.
Okay.
Yes, they're not allowed to play them. Also, no, there's not dragon people in my setting. There's experimented humans turned into dragon people.
Damn it.
This isn't like, there aren't like dragon people walking around.
I'm fucking...
So yes, but no. The Dragon Chosen are CR 3, right? Which were like the primary bulk enemies you guys were fighting. So, you know, pretty low relative to the player levels, but it works because that's the intended like attrition system.
Yeah.
That was a really long detour, but anyway, yeah.
I will just ask Isaiah, how did you like fighting those guys? Was it fun when they exploded? Because my players despise that.
My players also complained about the exploding.
So,
I'm
playing a Warforged.
No. So one of them exploded into poison. The other guys exploded into force. The Draconian Mastermind was also supposed to explode, but I forgot.
Fair enough. I only got hit by one of them. So,
Oh, that's good.
I went, okay. I have health for this.
One of my players did. Oh, it was Sam. Was like, what is with all the fucking exploding?
I genuinely thought it was you getting back at him for the snakes.
No, they actually
every fiber of my being was like, this is for this fucking zombie snake thing, isn't it?
That would be funny, but no, they explode.
No, it's a natural thing. Even in old Dragonlance adventures, it's a thing that Draconians do.
Explode.
But it's also a thing that 5e specifically is starting to do with a lot of like newer monsters and newer adventures, there's a lot of creatures in like Spelljammer, the
like
Spelljammer
if you
book,
hit them or whatever.
That just when you reduce it to 0, it just explodes.
Yeah. Or the other
And it's
thing
like, what
is
the fuck?
the other thing is when you hit them, you get hurt by them.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's because it's an easy way to make an enemy more dangerous.
True. But like in the Strixhaven, I'll just say, because a lot of the earlier encounters that I've had this change because it was getting fucking annoying was that it kept throwing those kinds of creatures at the players, and they would get pissed off as like, oh, we have to fight steam methods. Oh, the fucking method explodes. Oh, we have to fight this trash thing. Oh, when you kill it, the trash explodes and it poisons me. And it's like, it was a bunch of those encounters back to back, and eventually like I could tell my players are getting annoyed, and I was kind of like, yeah, this kind of feels like cheap. But now I'm using Draconian Song, so you know I've given up that rule.
Yeah, I said
I
fuck
fucking
it.
guess. I do remember when I was watching Critical Role Campaign 2, and like towards the end, almost everything had a fucking retaliate mechanic to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, after a while, I was like, if I was playing, I'd be getting annoyed for sure.
I mean, here's the thing. It's the exact same logic as legendary actions, right? Making a good way to make a monster threatening and imposing in D&D, but also fictionally, is every time you get to do a cool badass thing, the enemy also gets to do the cool badass thing, right? Like, part of what makes villains threatening in game terms, but also in media, is that every time you think you get to be cool, they get to be cool back, you know? Like, if you think about it, I mean, here you go, Isaiah. Dark Souls terms, right? Little bitch enemies in Dark Souls, or if we want, Matt, we could say Elden Ring. Little bitch enemies in a Souls game, when you hit them, they stagger, and you could just wombo combo them and kill them, and it's not a big deal. When you hit bosses, they have a lot more poise. You're not just gonna cheese stagger the shit out of a boss, with obviously exceptions. Don't start going down the Spurg route, Isaiah.
I literally wasn't even thinking about it.
Okay, I'm just saying it preemptively.
I can hear my buddy Joe and Wolf in the background be like,
because I know there are bosses you can poise, cheese, and all this other bullshit. But generally, you know, when you hit a boss, you can't just stagger them out and stop them from doing what they get to do. You hit them, and then you have to deal with what they do in response because they're a boss. You know, that's part of what makes them like cool and threatening. So in D&D terms, what does that mean? Well, that means when the players hit them or do something to them, they have to have some sort of retaliation mechanic. That's the easiest way to do it.
Fucking just Omega dead when Horalu suplexed you.
Didn't get up to Horaloo because my PS4 bricked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When you fight Godfrey and he starts doing actual WWE moves on you.
No, I didn't get to Godfrey.
I still can't believe I'm the only one that beat Elden Ring out of you guys. You guys are all the Dark Souls nerds.
Literally couldn't do anything about it, motherfuckers.
Pause. All right, two things. One, I'm not a Dark Souls nerd, for starters. I've played like 3 of them, and I've only beaten.
There's only 3 of them.
No, there's not. There's
all right,
6 or 7
Dark
of
Souls.
them.
Sorry.
You played at least half of them.
I've only played a couple of the Soulsborne games. I'm not that super into them. I'm like kind of into them. And also, more importantly, I stopped playing Elden Ring because too much video game. I just got bored. I was like, I'm done. I've played enough.
Head.
Respectfully disagree.
I've played 80 hours of that. I put 80 hours into that game, and I was like, I'm good. I really don't feel compelled to play more, and I haven't gone back to it, and I don't know if I ever will.
Damn. Even when the DLC comes out?
Maybe.
Add more, Josh.
Solid maybe.
Yeah, for me, I literally couldn't like PS4 bricked. I literally couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you could get it on PC now.
Now you can get it on PC.
I could, but A, I'm not buying the game again. And B, I had like 120 hours in that game where I was at.
What you'll do, Isaiah, is you'll rebuy it when they make the Scholar of the First Sin version.
Probably, yeah. I'll probably do that. And then just, I'm just going to cheese it. I'm just going to cheese as much XP as I can.
Do the
put like 100 hours in and just get
the whole game.
I mean, no, I don't think that's what he means.
No, I'm just going to like grind XP like an idiot for about 3 weeks.
Jeez.
And then come out like third way through the game with like level 400 and then just clap everyone.
Anyway, point being, game too long, too much.
Yeah. God,
Where the fuck were we?
Yeah, I don't even know. I lost track. Oh no, okay. So yeah, big fight
Githyanki.
started.
They went
Githyanki.
to so they had a giant fuck off battle
giant
with the
massive
Githyanki.
combat on the ship, which this was overly super mega deadly, outnumbered event. The Githyanki they had, and these are all creatures that are found in Tome of Foes too. There's like one of them that specifically is basically an Eldritch Knight. They have spells. They can shoot cantrips all the time, all day, including Sword Slash. The captain was, I forgot what it's called in the book, but it's basically the most powerful Githyanki thing. It's like a CR11,
the
12
commander.
guy, giant, massive, fuck off silver greatsword. And with the silver weapons too, the thing with those is like the Githyanki are specifically, they can attune to them, and they can cut the string attached to your body from your astral form. So like, let's say you like a wizard casting astral self. If a Githyanki with a silver sword sees that and sees your string connecting your astral self to your body, they can just cut that, and then now you're just astrally projected, lost in the astral sea forever.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The astral plane is like kind of irrelevant. Like that's a fun idea, but in 5e, it's didn't do anything really with it. So you're kind of like,
well, you got to read some of the bit in the GMG chapter on it is really cool, and it gives you like a little bit of context.
Does it tell
of,
you
like,
how to like have an adventure in the astral plane or anything?
It gives you ideas, and then that's why I also recommend.
So
I highly recommend
the 5e style of
5e style. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do recommend though, and a lot of people on the internet also said the 4th edition book, literally called The Astral Sea. The cover is literally a Githyanki pirate. That book has so much cool information on it, and that's what a lot of my inspiration I took and was going to do for this adventure. Big ass fight. Some notable highlights I wrote down. Joe's character cast darkness on himself and like the players so that the Githyanki couldn't see them. And I think because he's a great old one warlock, he had the thing where he can see through magic darkness. And I think also Wolf's character had the same thing. So the two of them were just wrecking shit while the Githyanki were just blind.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What else? Oh, Chris's character, because the ship was still flying, he pulled out one of the magic items that Chris had, and this became his like signature magic item throughout the campaign, was an immovable rod.
Of course.
So as a monk, he shadow stepped up to the front of the ship, activated the rod, and just watched as it just cut the two masts of the ship in half. As the ship was flying, and the captain being like, "My ship."
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so like as the ship was flying, the rod just went through it.
Yep.
Nice.
Did they lose the rod?
No, he got it back.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. What else? Oh, Krug was constantly trying to 1v. Like, the captain was... Krug somehow was not... Like, Krug, he's the barbarian, does a fuck ton of damage. He could not, for some reason, I think, hit the guy. For whatever reason. Like, he just kept missing with his attacks. And the guy was the captain was the first creature that, Ragnar's, as the person... He felt that this guy does a fuck ton of damage, and as a barbarian having 1,000,000 health, he's just like, "Oh, a challenge!"
Oh no.
Yeah. So he really wanted to 1v1 fight this guy, and the dude was just not having it because as he was fighting Krug, he's just watching his ship get destroyed. The other players were also dealing with the dragons, and specifically because the Gith, were basically, they had made a deal with the dragons. The dragons weren't using their breath attack. At first. Then Nano, with the Bill Murray wizard, one of his signature spells was also Bigby's hand. So he's basically just doing the Bart Simpson choking the shit out of one of the dragons while the other one is fighting on the other side of the ship. And so he basically just, he crushes the dragon's neck and kills it. So then I wrote, I'm like, if one of the dragons die, the other one's gonna basically go, enraged. And so the other one just fire blasted the shit out of the ship, destroying a lot of the ship, I think hitting most of the players, some of the Gith. But the big thing was it killed the Bill Murray Wizard. It did quadruple his health.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Gotta
he
love
just
it.
yeah, Cell being Kamehameha by Gohan.
Yep. Just erased.
Yep. Oh shit! I should also mention. Fuck. I'm sorry. I did this all in order. Before that, I mentioned last time that we had a new player join us. Paladin. I'm gonna call him. He was playing a Dragonborn Paladin. Nano, because he just got level 7, he picked the spell Prismatic Spray.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what
Very
Prismatic
fun.
Spray is, a big fuck off spell that does a lot of different effects. Each one is a different damage. And so he was in the magical darkness when Joe first cast in the beginning of the combat. So he didn't know where the fuck he was aiming. Unfortunately, he hit Paladin. And I think it's on a 100, the character is basically plane shifted to another. If they fail a wisdom check or something, they basically are banished to another plane of existence entirely.
Yep.
And because they're in the Astral Sea, which is the highway to every fucking plane, the characters basically lost him.
Oh no.
They're like, well, he's gone. He's dead.
I can't believe he's fucking dead, Jim.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that happened.
Did they get him back?
The dragon watched its other dragon friend get murdered. Fire blasted the shit out of Nano. He died. Then I think the worst one was Joe's character, who, as the immovable rod destroyed the two masts, Joe was hiding in the darkness. He's like, my plan is working. They'll never find me. Looks up, does not see the giant mass falling directly on top of him.
They'll never get me.
So the mass falls on top of him, does a fuck ton of damage. He loses concentration on darkness.
Oh, I was hoping it killed him outright. That would have been the
However, the
funniest
Githyanki
shit.
standing next to him, who saw this,
Oh no.
and because Joe's character was now prone, just stabbed the shit out of him.
You know what I wanted? You know the fucking the Looney Tunes when the fucking mast falls on Daffy and it like slowly nails him into the ground like a hammer.
Should have done that.
It's kind of what I wanted.
I felt so fucking bad. I was just like, oh. Because I was like, all right. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, oh no, Paladin. He's the new guy. No, his character. And then Nano disintegrated. I was like, oh, fuck. And then Joe died.
The old character.
And then Joe dying.
Wasn't Paladin the player that got forcibly removed later?
Later, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is around the time when he was still good.
Oh, he wasn't being a weirdo?
He wasn't being a dickhead yet, no. So
This is what sparked it, Matt. It was you.
probably
You did this.
Probably, yeah, right. I didn't even do anything. It was technically the Bill Murray Wizard. He teleported him out.
True.
I think we also joked for some reason. Where did he end up? It's somewhere in here. I'll find it. But yeah. So Joe, and the last one was Joe got smoted, got stabbed to death by the other Githyanki because he's prone on the ground. The attacks have advantage. They fucking hit like trucks. So just, shink, 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 shink. Turn into a pincushion.
And the wizard was the one who could plane shift, and he got erased.
No, that was Joe.
Oh, Joe. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
We're usually pretty good with names. Why am I struggling right now?
No, it's all good. But yeah. So after that happened, also because the dragon, fucking fire blasted the ship, and Nano's character, the ship was now also burning. The ship, its masts were destroyed. Half the crew, actually, I think over half the crew is dead between the dragon and the players. And now the front of the ship is burning and is basically crumbling. So the Eldritch Knight.
So things are going great.
Yeah, things are going great. The Eldritch Knight basically calls out to the captain and was like, yeah, we need to abandon ship. We gotta get the fuck out of here. I just killed 3 players. Well, two technically. One's just gone. One's just banished.
One's just delete. Yeah.
And then B, it was super late as fuck. So I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, let's just wrap this shit up. This combat's taking too long, and I feel so like this is my first player deaths. So I felt bad. So I'm like, all right, the red dragon flies off. It grabs the Eldritch Knight, and the captain, who's still like Krug, is just not phasing this dude, is smacking the shit out of him. And Krug's just like, why won't you fight me?
Why won't you die?
Fight me.
Yeah. And the captain's like, yeah, you're not worth it. And then basically just climb the dragon, which enraged Krug even more. He's like, what are you doing? This is a perfectly good moment. Throw your life away. Get back here.
This is perfectly good.
Yes. Fuck yeah, dude.
So while that was going on, the players, they killed off the remaining gift that couldn't get onto the dragon with the captain and the Eldritch Knight. Captain and the Eldritch Knight flew off away through space. Basically leaving the players there stranded on the ship, to which Chris, after destroying the two masts, he's like, all right, so Matt, I'm going to go up to the wheel, and I'm going to try and fly a ship. I'm like, how you going to do that, Chris?
Fly the ship that's on fire?
I'm like, how you going to do that, bud? He's like, with the, oh.
Yeah. How you going to do that, bud?
Yeah. So basically, the party now stranded in the astral, in a completely different plane of existence, on a ship that's half destroyed, floating amongst the stars. The two players that could possibly get them home dead.
Dead, yeah.
One of their new buddy, just gone. They didn't even know what happened. Because of the darkness, they didn't even know what happened to him. They assumed he fell off the boat, like in character. Because they're like, brutal. Where's Paladin? Anybody see? Looks over the ship.
I can't believe he's fucking dead.
Yeah. Because his body's nowhere, and they're like, oh shit.
It's fantastic.
But they leveled up. They're 14 now. I gave them.
Oh yeah, it was 14. Yay!
Oh hell yeah, dude.
So at this point, I felt terrible. I felt so bad that my player deaths were not only Joe, my boy, but that I killed two players at the same time in combat, and a third just banished to another plane. The players have no fucking idea what's going on. It was a great joke. It was like, looking back, it was funny, but I think at the time as a DM, I just felt bad. I felt bad about the situation. I think I apologized to the group because of it.
What are you? What are you apologizing for?
Because they died. Because again, this was new DM, never killed the player before.
That's not.
I felt, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows that now. We didn't know that back then.
It just feels like a weird thing to apologize for, but okay.
Well,
I apologize when I killed my first player a few weeks back, like literally 2 weeks ago, because it's you don't want them to die, right? Like,
nah.
You know,
the goal is never to kill the player. Like, if I have a bad, like if I throw like a really deadly encounter or a hard thing in my players, I'll say, listen, this monster is going to try and kill you. Me, Matt, I don't want you to die, but if it happens, it happens.
I'm not gonna say it's the goal, but it is part of the game.
Yeah, no, it's part of the game.
That you agree to when you agree to start playing.
Well, I don't even think it's that serious. I think the idea is, right, is like, you as the GM should always be rooting for your players. So you're like, hey guys, I really hope y'all make it out of this. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
sure,
will,
rooting for the players, but that's not the same as apologizing that they died. Like, that was okay. If they had died because Matt just was like, and then 8 dragons show up and dick on your day, that, and like you killed them in like a shitty way, sure, but killing them because of the consequences of their own actions, I'm not apologizing for that. Y'all, that's on y'all. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's
like, it's yes and no. It's like again, as a DM, like I as a new DM at the time, I felt bad. I felt bad because I've never killed a player before. I never really wanted to. It was never the goal. If it happened, it happened. And
again, I'm not saying. Hold on. I
Yeah.
feel like I have to defend myself here. I'm not saying it's the goal.
Why are you defending?
No,
it?
we're
That's
not-
what
we're
I'm
not
saying.
saying-
because I have a because
What are you defending?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I
This is
feel
what
like
my
I have to
mindset was
defend
back
myself
then.
because I feel like because my take on like character death in game is different, and you all are saying that like, oh well, it's not the goal to kill your players. I'm not saying it's the goal to kill your players. That was
No,
not the point I was
we're
trying to
not
make.
saying-
That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
I know, but okay. I still feel like I need to defend myself here. That's all I'm saying.
God damn it.
I do what you got to do, bud.
Well, because I'm the outlier take here, apparently.
Yeah. So who cares?
Well, I don't want to come across as like I'm some sort of horrible, evil jackass that just intentionally is murdering my
Well, no-
players all the time just
Well,
because
no,
I'm disagreeing
you're
with
not-
Matt.
We would say something.
mean,
if
I
that
don't
was
mean
the
you
case.
people. I mean someone listening and getting the wrong idea. I don't mean you two.
You just stated an opinion on the internet. Someone's gonna do that regardless.
I mean, yeah, that's why I'm
Cancel 'em.
that's why I'm specifying now.
That's not gonna help.
What the fuck ever. I can still try.
Josh, quick, post the cat meme. Everybody loves.
I mean, sure, yeah, that's true.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I've gotten attacked over this before, so like I'm very defensive about the subject.
No,
I
it's,
mean,
it's
like, fuck them. Like,
I mean, I've gotten attacked over it by you two also, so like that's why I'm
debated
defending
with
myself.
and attacked two very different things.
I'm just telling. That's why I'm defending myself. That's my point.
okay.
Either way, I don't remember where we were. Someone
Anyways,
died.
yeah.
I just
the
never mind.
the two players died.
What Isaiah?
One's
What?
banished.
What?
I just thought
Hey.
of I just thought of the Kevin Bridges. You can't take a shame and shame.
It's not.
No, of course it's not the same.
Sir.
thing. That's just the first place my mind went. Your dozen alke
Shit.
Like I mentioned earlier,
Oh God, Oh God, we're an hour
Joe's
deep.
character was the one that could get them home.
Right,
and he's gone.
And he just bit the dust. Wait, which
Nano's
one?
character-
Wait. Was Joe the Bill Murray wizard or was Nano the who's?
No, Nano.
Nano's the
Nano
Bill
was
Murray
the
wizard.
wizard.
Joe.
Nano-
was,
the
I
Bill
also
Murray
got
wizard.
confused earlier.
Sorry, yeah. Joe's character was the Warlock. Nano's was the Bill Murray
Joe
wizard.
was the warlock. Okay.
Yeah, Joe with his Mystic Arcanum could have gotten the players home.
Right.
He died.
Yes.
And then he was
Nano with the
murdered.
wizard having the sending spell could have contacted somebody at home and be like, "Hey,
Get us
help!"
Yep.
And he's dead.
And then he got murdered.
Paladin. To be fair, he couldn't really do much.
But he's also dead.
He was supposed to be there. He's
He could have begged God for a crisp high five, but he was also
like, "I'm not a cleric, but can I get some divine
banished.
intervention over here, please?"
Yeah.
No. No, I don't think I
I would
will.
have just told him to roll for it. I'd be like, hey, you rolled that to 20, anything could
To
happen.
be fair, the Astral Sea is also the gateway to the deities.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess.
So like that's why they have the thing in the Spelljammer book of like the Astral Traveler and or something like that where they get like cleric spells and shit. I'm butchering it, but yeah.
background.
So yeah, so now I'm sitting there being like, well, the fuck do I do? Because my whole Guardians of the Galaxy revenge adventure is just thrown out the window.
just went up in literal smoke. Yes.
Yep, my players can't get back to the material plane on their own. The ship had taken so much fucking damage that was basically non-functional, and now I need to introduce 3 new players to the fucking group. Fuck. So, the time-honored tradition of this 3-year campaign. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I mean, fuck it, we're doing it live could have been the name of the campaign.
That's how I do everything. Fuck it, we do it live. Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. The remaining characters on the ship, Chris, Wolf, Krug, and their pet Drake, Razir, basically stuck in the Astral Sea for I randomly rolled on a table. I think they got like a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. Stuck on the ship. Luckily, the ship was stocked because, full Githyanki crew. They also found, I think I rolled because of how high the CR shit was. I think one of my players found, they found one of the tome books that like buffs a stat.
Oh, I love those.
I think they got the health one. I don't remember who I think the Hexblade ended up taking that one. I don't remember. Yeah, and so now I need to come up with some sort of excuse and or way to introduce the 3 new players to the group and to help get the rest of the crew back to Earth. Joe ended up rolling a spore druid fighter, a champion fighter character. Nano switched to the Matt Mercer gunsmith or gunslinger. Yeah, gunslinger. He was a high elf gunslinger. And Paladin became the Wild Magic Warforge, which had the hilarious event of rolling once on the table every fucking round of combat.
Oh no.
On Wild Magic. His first time rolling Wild Magic, by the way.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fun times. But basically what I ended up having was, after a while, the characters got contacted from Nurse Joy because she's a high level cleric. She found them, was able to get a small tactical team to plane shift to the ship, find the players, bring them home. And I basically was just like, well, we're not going to space anymore. Fuck that place.
Never again.
Wait, so the new characters saved the old characters? That was the maneuver you pulled?
They basically rescued them. Yeah, there was I think actually, so around this time Descent to Avernus came out too. And through the Astral Sea you can actually end up in Avernus. So I just had like a devil pirate ship show up, like a small little tiny boat show up. A bunch of devils jumped onto the ship to try and attack the players. And then the new player characters just teleported in, fucking like, come with us if you want to live.
All right, Matt, this is not a call out in any way. And yeah, you yourself advocate for like steal everything, but I just met Matt with like the green see-through visor, like tacking away at the fucking typewriter, preparing for a session, and then he just sees a new book comes out, just reaches over and grabs it, looks in that one too.
I just rip the page and just like staple it.
Yeah. You just stapling it into his own book. Yep. I fucking love it. That's fantastic.
At a certain point, I feel like Matt's campaign method just becomes the fucking Charlie Day with the red wire meme.
Yeah, it's a lot of. You should have seen my old, like, I actually have a physical notebook with all my old notes, and half of it is like that, like sticky notes, tapes, actual pieces of paper. This bad.
I just have about a dozen miscellaneous Google Docs. I've got like 3 sentences written on them each.
Nice.
No, I the duality of man. My notes
I also have
my notes are all
massive.
My notes are very well organized and all in one place. And
see, I transfer everything. I go from the physical and I transfer it into digital and clean it up and make it like more legible.
I can't. I don't enjoy writing with a physical pen. I know. Before you pointed out, but you draw. I know. I don't enjoy writing with a pencil. And I can barely read my own handwriting, so I just don't ever bother writing it. Yeah.
But the other thing ended up doing is when the players got back after they killed the devils, were able to, with the new characters, plane shift the old characters back home. The group tried to resurrect the Bill Murray Wizard and failed. I did the critical role resurrection rules. Yeah. They didn't pass the check, unfortunately. They didn't pass the check with Joe's character either, unfortunately. But they did pass bringing back everybody's favorite boy, Chad Elfington. To which the players were visibly upset that they were able to bring the fucking NPC back.
That's great.
Especially Krug, because he's like, does that take away one of my kills?
Yes. Yes.
Can we just... I don't want to go on a I'm not going on a tirade about it.
Yeah, no, do it.
Don't
just
blast to the internet.
I just want to say, I know a lot of people use the Matt Mercer resurrection rule thing. And for those who don't know what it is, I'm not going to explain. Just look it up. I just find it fucking annoying. I just want to put that out there. It's just so much unnecessary hibbity hobbity hoop.
Fam, I love you. You literally not 10 minutes ago was like, look, I got to defend myself to the internet. You wouldn't have to defend yourself if you didn't keep making these wild takes.
Just have better takes, Forehead.
I don't feel like that's that wild of a take to say the like resurrection rules are annoying.
No, but like
they like, can be.
You're
my choice of phrasing
you're speaking against everyone's Lord and Savior Matt Mercer. So you're good now. If you didn't get some ire before, you definitely will now.
Fair, but I have said on recording before that like I think Matt Mercer gets a little like, not that he's a bad DM, but I think he gets sort of overly praised and put on a much higher pedestal than is warranted.
I feel like it's a lot of people who've been like kind of shitting on him, and it's like
I'm not shitting on him.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying. Generally, recently in the last couple of years, there have been a lot of people being like, "He's not so great. He's actually the worst DM ever." And it's
no.
That is factually incorrect.
No, he's very. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, he's very clearly adept at what he's doing. The part that bugs me is that I think people think. I don't know why. I don't really get it, but people look at what he's doing and think he's on like this different echelon and like he's doing things that you couldn't do at your own table. But like the whole time I watched Critical Role, I'm like, nothing he's doing is beyond anyone's reach other than he has more spare money to buy like terrain minis with.
Well,
you know,
if you looked at like the first campaign, like back when they didn't have a lot of money, he still used minis, but they weren't like fucking $1,000 dwarven forges.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but Matt was like a lot of people. He played D&D for a while. He was at I don't know what I get higher level. I hate saying that.
He's proficient.
He was
had
at
a lot of
higher
practice
level compared to a lot of newer people who, because 5e was a lot of people, and Critical Role was a lot of people's gateway into D&D. He was looked at as, wow, look how good of a DM he is. I should do that. I'm an example. I use him as an example of a DM I should follow. Matt Colville, Chris Perkins. Another one, actually, shout out to Monty Glue of the Unexpectables. That's another stream I watched, and they are so fucking funny. They're so good.
I think my thing is like, yes, he is very good at it, but he's not some sort of golden god. That's my first point. Like, he's not like beyond humanity. Well, that's how people talk about him sometimes. And the other thing is, the thing that really bugs me is I think the thing that people miss is that the magic of Critical Role is not Matt Mercer. The magic of Critical Role is the entire group.
Yeah.
The whole group. Everyone contributes.
Everyone, yeah.
It's not Matt Mercer. He's not some sort of weird, like, beatific fucking, like, idol that brings out the goodliness in people. It's the whole group. That's the part that bothers me the most. I said I wasn't gonna... God damn it.
I literally don't like know what you expected. You started, and I was like, he's gonna keep going.
Shut up.
Hey, don't get mad at me because you debated yourself.
It's okay, Josh. We all have bad takes sometimes. It's fine. We all can grow up, and I'm fucking
got him.
Insert Mad Max bait. Insert Mad Max gif. That's bait. Keep going, man. Just go.
Anyways, yeah, so they failed to bring back Joe and Nano's original characters, so they're sticking with the old one. Also, at this time, if you guys will count, the party at this moment consisted of 3 fucking fighter multi-classes. Fuck.
Why is that
a whole lot of action surge?
Because I have half of my group can just action surge constantly. And it became like, any challenge. Like, this is also one of the other things that where for a while I got annoyed with multi-classing. I got annoyed because like it was hard for me to challenge my players. Again, majority of that was magic items. My players were a lot more tactical than I was as a DM.
You put a lot of onus on the multi-classing. I feel like there was a lot of different things.
Again, at the time, I did. Now looking back on it, yes, it wasn't just the multi-classing, but that was a thing at that time I fixated on for some reason, because that was the one of the problems, and I thought it was the most obvious one. But in reality, it was just one, piece of the puzzle.
I find it hilarious that you got so indignant to the multi-classing situation when in my game currently I literally forget that 3 of my 4 players are multi-classed. I just forget because it's such a like non-relevant thing. The only reason I remember that Sam is a multi-class is because he's a paladin rogue, so he mentioned sneak attack all the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sam's a multi-class. I literally forget that the other 2 players are also multi-class.
Yeah. Now I don't give that much of a shit. The only thing I had the rule where you can't be the same subclass as another person. That was the only thing because I wanted my players to like
be different,
be fucking unique.
You didn't want 8 hex blades.
Yeah. So
okay. You may have told us, you probably did, but I personally don't remember, and you might as well just say it for the universe. Is there, what stopped you from being like, you guys can't all play fighters? Like, what stopped you from like putting your foot down?
Oh, I didn't. I have 2 fighters in my Strixhaven game right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the first game, what stopped you from doing it?
He's saying, why didn't you put limits on what your players?
Oh, because
the game was already running, or was it?
No, the game was already running, and I didn't want to be that guy to like take the toys away or just like, I mostly felt like I didn't want to take the toys away or be like, hey guys, I realized the magic. Now I'm like, I probably should just talk to your players. Mm-hmm. I should have just been like, hey guys, I gave out too many magic items like candy. Hey guys, I feel like as a DM, like I'm struggling to challenge people because of some of the multi-classing stuff. Hey guys, this isn't a fucking military strategy game. Could we chill? I just want a silly goblin encounter.
See, that's the problem, Matt. To some people, it is.
Yeah, but no. And again, now I don't. Now I know, and I had to go through all this, like the 3-year campaign stuff to get to this point now where I feel like, now I feel like I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm the best DM. I'm good. No, I'm good. I know I'm good. But I'm not going to be like, blow smoke up my ass and be like, hey, Matt Mercer, eat your heart out. No, never. Fuck, no. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm better than them at DMing.
I will. Fuck you, Matt Mercer. I'm better than you.
Lol. Hilarious. Terrible take. No. But like, yeah, I know now I can confidently say that I'm a good DM. But I had to go and struggle and learn. And again, looking on the internet, I'm not the first person this has happened to, and I'm not the first person this has happened to because of in 5e. In the 5e time, since Critical Role boomed and all that, I've seen the same shit that has happened to me to happen to a ton of newer DMs. And I've been DMing since 2018. So took like roughly 4 years to be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm okay.
Like, I would be lying if I had said that I didn't use your like struggles as a like, okay, well, he's struggling with this, so I'm gonna be sure to think about that when things come up to it.
Yeah,
like
it's lessons learned. You have to fail to succeed.
Yeah, well, so like
many times.
So it's not exactly the same, but in Hellscapes, there's like the 3 races, quote unquote, right? You can be like a normal human, a mutant, or a bestial, which is you're just like an animal person. And everyone's like, I want to do that, and I was like, no. One of you can do it. A few of you can play mutants, but like some of you got to play normal fucking people. And they were like, damn it, fine. And I was like,
oh, did all your players want to be mutants?
Either mutants or bestials. It was mainly bestials. It was very funny.
You didn't want a furry post-apocalypse game and everybody everyone's just now animal people?
I didn't. I think the only one, the 2 out of the 6 who were like, I just want to play normal people was Brett and Paladin.
I could just imagine your players are like, Isaiah, hey, can we have Mad Max with some Zootopia in it?
I mean, Isaiah, you bolder individual than I, because I probably would have said no bestials at all.
Why? I mean, okay, here's the thing. There's only 3 races. You like. So here's the reason.
In total?
Yes, 3 races in total.
So humans, beast folk, and mutants?
Humans, beast folk, and mutants, yeah. So there's 2 reasons for that particular game. Because One, the humans in Hellscapes have a really interesting build your tribe system. So even if you're all playing humans, you could very easily have a party of 4 very different humans. Like, they're all humans, but they have different vibes based on the, like, 3 pieces of the tribe build thing that you pick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the ways.
Yeah. So that's the first reason. So that even if you are, like, yeah, there's only 3 races, but the 3 races have a lot of customization options within them. And then the other reason is just tonally, I'm not crazy about, like, the weird animal people running around in the post-apocalypse. The mutant thing, I'm a little more okay with tonally. I feel like genre-wise, that fits a little bit more. And also, I probably would just reflavor the mutants as people with weird powers. I wouldn't say they're like I don't like
they're like Fallout mutants.
No, I don't like Fallout
no
mutants.
Dongs.
Not big on Fallout mutants. I don't like
Fallout.
I don't like Fallout like ghouls either.
No, well, so the game describes mutants as basically X-Men.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
More than direction.
Well, and if you think, I mean, it's kind of rough, right? Because if you think about it, like, oh, well, if you're allowed to play an X-Man, what's to stop you from playing Beast from X-Men, who's like a weird gorilla wolf man? Like,
yeah, I might let a player do that, maybe.
Well, it's like, you know, I basically said, like, you need to look like a person, right? Like, you can't.
Yeah, you can't be Street Sharks.
You can't be an anthro. Like,
you can't be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, they pretty quickly were like, all right, that's fine. So, like, you know, Snubby, like her shark man, the one who just fucking bit it, looked like a normal person, except he had, you know, rows of concentric teeth, and he had black tips to his hair because he was supposed to be a black tipped reef shark.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, like, you know,
yeah,
if you put the stipulation of, like, if you want to be a bestial, you cannot look like it. Like, you have to look more human than animal.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's sort of like the stipulation for the Tycherosi and Blades in the Dark.
Yeah, so I wouldn't see a reason to ban it outright, but I understand you being like, you cannot literally be a walking fucking bear person.
Yeah, I'm not looking for TMNT in my post-apocalypse.
Fair enough. Neither was I. So, like, you know, fair enough. But
yeah, I think, like, you could probably do something like that in 5e where it's like, I want everybody to be humans, but, like, you could pick whatever race. Like, you know, all right, let's do Dragonborn. Okay, you're some sort of, you know, mutinous dragon person, but you just look like a dude.
Yeah,
you look like a normal person. Maybe you have some dragon scales. Maybe your eyes are reptilian, but that's about the extent. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I you know, dwarf stats, but I'm just what was that one player, Isaiah, the girth dude.
Oh, you mean Brett? Brett's girth.
Yeah, that was Brett. Of course,
yeah,
Brett.
Yeah, he's playing the Ogren in Darktide. Yeah,
that's from Darktide, Matt. That's not.
No. In one of your games, you said one of your there was a player who who didn't show up a lot, but he couldn't play a dwarf because Cardell banned dwarf characters.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Where you're playing a human, but you're just playing a very short, very large, rotund.
Yeah, he was just playing a really wide human who had dwarfism but wasn't a dwarf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he was too wide to walk through doorways normally, so he had to shimmy his way through. Yeah. He also just had endless supply of smoked fucking sausage in his pockets. Okay, this is a quick. I have to. Did I ever tell you how we got introduced to that fucking campaign?
Which
like of Cardell's game. First thing
this
that happens in that game,
right?
First session of my first ever D&D game. We roll it, and fucking, god damn it, his thing is also Paladin on.
Your guy could be Paladin 1. Mine will be Paladin 2.
No, well, like both of them, like this player that I'm about to talk about is also named Paladin on Discord.
Lol.
What the fuck was his name in Hoodad? I'm just gonna call him Hoodad. So they're like, oh, Hoodad, what are you doing? He goes, okay, I empty my chamber pot, and he's like, okay. And then he goes, all right, you know what? I'm gonna roll to take a piss. Like, he literally goes, I'm gonna roll to take a piss. And he goes, yeah, well,
wow.
You know, you're on like a mountaintop fortress, so there's a bunch of the ravens. And he's like, I try to piss at the ravens. And he pissed them off. And he, at level 1, got almost attacked by a swarm of ravens and was almost murdered back 10 minutes into session 1.
What a
And it
strong
went on for like
start.
20 minutes of like him trying to like hit the fucking ravens with a chamber pot and not get murdered because he had 6 HP. It was ridiculous, but very funny.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was so good, dude.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, so half the party gone, 3 new characters stroll up. You know, basically they're like, hey, we gotta work with you guys now. You guys you've been through a lot of shit. We're pretty skilled up. To which the other players were like, sure, fuck it, whatever.
Sure, fuck it, whatever.
Whatever. Where's the booze? And this is finally around the time after they got back. I'm like, okay, no more shenanigan arc over. After killing off the 2 players and all that shit, I'm like, all right, finally now it's time for serious mode. Takes off like rainbow clown hoodie, DM hoodie, and puts on, serious DM, like serious mode. Story
keeps the
time
clown
DM.
wig.
Yeah. This is where I finally I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a plot. It's gonna be epic grand adventure. Again, didn't really happen, but it's fine. It's all good. It's
Didn't really happen.
It was grand enough. I'll just say that. It was grand for me, damn it.
Matt, that's all that really matters, isn't it?
No, I mean, again, looking back at everything and my players, they still, we still joke about the 3-year game. They loved it. We all had a good time, but definitely, again, big thing, way too long. Definitely did not need to be 3 years. Fuck me.
Yeah, you say that I'm coming up on 3 years next week for my game.
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad. I'm like, fuck.
I mean, I don't know. Getting past the previous arc was a chore for me, but now that it's over and I have a new character to play with, I think everyone's a little, maybe I could be lying, but it feels like everyone's a little reinvigorated to be like, okay, we're getting back, So,
I mean, probably, yeah, a little bit, but that reinvigoration is probably going to be a lot shorter.
yeah, fair enough.
It's just the nature of the thing.
But so now I finally had like a big adventure. I'm like, okay, I said, at the beginning of this campaign, I'm like, I want to run a game from 1 to 20. I want to, prove like, oh, people can do it. No one ever does. I'm like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to hit 20.
Yeah, sure.
You can.
Can.
I have the end game set up. Yeah. And so I basically said the players, they were stuck in the Astral Sea for 2 weeks. In the 4E book, they said that time can be kind of wonky, and I don't know if they had a table in there. But I basically just said like, so yeah, you guys are trapped in space for 2 weeks, but on the material plane, it was like 6 months. And they're like, oh, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
And during said time, the dragon cult that I had hinted at were now a thing. They just basically they were able to summon their god back to the material plane. It was destroyed and took over one of the major cities that were on the other side of the continent. Think like the players are in New York, like that's where their home is, and the dragon cult is like all the way out in like Washington. Like sorry, I should probably say West Coast California. And so now they're attacking, they're burning towns, killing, murdering at random, and basically just causing all sorts of chaos. At the same time, the Invincible Overlord now, the Resistance and the NPCs that kind of work with the players have discovered that the Overlord has been sending word to be like, hey, give me the teeth of the dragon. I know you have, basically doing what Kal-El did. Give me the teeth of the dragon. What's that? Don't play dumb with me. Like,
don't play dumb with me.
And because he's the big bad guy, he knew that the teeth that the players had were not on the plane anymore. So he just assumed that the players died and that the teeth were gone. So he started also going on the warpath now. And my players and basically the Resistance and a bunch of their NPCs friends were like, they set up a war council to basically talk to the players and say, hey, so Dragon Cult's trying to destroy the world. The evil president is trying to destroy us. It's not looking great. Can you help?
I would have loved, right? If you're there, like, yeah, we don't have them. We lost them on the ship, and he was like, well, that was my whole plan. What do you mean? They're just gone? And they're like, yeah, no, man, they're gone. It's fucked. Everything's fucked. It's gone. I'm sorry. And he was like, well, I don't. Do I just go home? Like,
what do I do now?
What do I do now? I was gonna go on the warpath. I kind of want to, but like, I don't have the thing. They're just like, look, man, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm sorry, I guess. Like, that's rough, bud. Right?
Yeah. It's like my whole plan hinged on those magic items. Yeah, I think I left. Yeah, it's just floating in the astral sea. I mean, you can probably find them, maybe.
Yeah, you can go look for them if you want, but
in the infinite cosmos.
You could even be like, bro, even if we went back, we have no idea where it is.
True. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be so good.
So as they were having this little war council, I think I mentioned the orc, totally not Thrawn, or fuck, what's the orc from WoW, Josh?
Thrall?
I'm sorry. Thrall, thank you. I butchered the shit out of his name.
Yeah, you did.
Totally not Thrall showed up, the monk master from Chris's monastery, and basically was like, hey, okay, so I need to explain to you guys what the actual deal is with these teeth of the dragon, these magic items, but we can't do it here. We have to go back to the monastery. And so Chris was like, finally, I can do my thing. Fuck. And that's when I had the there's a nice spell called Project Image, where basically you could just project a image of yourself, whatever. And this is how I did the bad guy hologram speech, where the invisible overlord showed up in the war council, basically told the players, surrender the teeth, I'll kill you, all that shit. Player said no.
And that's where it got interesting.
Yeah. So immediately after they turned him down, he's like, well, that's unfortunate. Disappears. All of a sudden, the entire city is being attacked by the dragon cult. And the player's like, the fucking overlord, he's with the cult. God fucking damn it, I knew it.
I was right the whole time.
I did I was going to do the Matt Mercer thing of like, just destroy my city. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. The players don't need a home. That's okay.
The players don't need a home.
And so the players fought off a shit ton of cultists, some dragons, and then I had them fight the White Abishai, which I mentioned, I think in the first episode, the White Abishai, after they killed Calorel, they destroyed his pondering orb, which released the 5 Abishai, and then the 5 Abishai kind of fucked off. Since then and now, the Abishai have been working with the Dragon Cult, helping to bring back their god to the material plane. Now's that time. So the White Abishai was leading the assault on the city, and I kind of buffed a lot of the two out of all the Abishai from Tome of Foes. Each one has a different stat block, and like the red one, the blue one, the green one are fucking great. They're awesome. The white one and the black one are more so meant to be like kind of goobs. Like they're just like really.
Yeah, they're just not
like
as
mob
good statistically.
monsters. Yeah. So I kind of buffed those two up to kind of be similar in power to the other 3. Because I wanted them to feel like these are important bad guys. But it didn't matter because the players just wiped the shit out of the White Abishai, no problem. And after they killed it, I had it that it affected, once the White Abishai died, it transferred its power and basically made the white tooth of the dragon that Wolf was using, the one he got basically in the first or second session, it became more powerful. And also I think this is when I found rules, and I had the Tal'Dorei PDF and was looking at how Matt built Vestiges of Divergence and was like, okay, I can do this and add these powers and they become exalted and all, that kind of stuff. And so after the players, they were helping the city. They're like, okay, we think we're good. We killed one of the Abishai, no problem. The blue one, the green one, and the red one showed up immediately. Each one of them was riding on a different dragon. And so our players were like, we could probably violence our way out of this. We could probably take them. And then I did the thing where more dragons showed up, and they're like,
maybe not.
Matt's outnumbering us yet again, guys. I feel like
this is a message.
I feel like this is a message. I feel like we shouldn't be fighting as Krug is pulling out his great axe again. He's like, I wish to violence.
Violence? No, bud, not today. Not today.
Smash? No. A big monster.
But the monk headmaster showed up, and because like I mentioned, he made the monastery. They take magic items from bad people. They hide them in their vault. He just happened to have a helm of teleportation. He goes,
Oh.
And so he basically was like, hold my hands, losers, we're going back to the monastery. And teleported the players out as basically the rest of the resistance was kind of unfortunately left to fend the dragon called off for themselves. Because basically the monk was like, listen, I can't risk you guys losing the teeth to these goobs. And I need you to like learn the important information. I did the NPC like, hey, this way, like follow me, fuck. And so they get to the monastery. Originally, again, way back. Originally, the plan was the players, when they got to the monastery before the plane shift shit, I was gonna have them, the monk headmaster, the orc guy, tell them, listen, these items are very important. But I don't know if I can trust you with that. You have to complete a couple, I'm gonna ask you to surrender them to us, or if you can prove that you're worthy of wielding them, we will tell you everything about them. That was what I originally intended, and then they went to space.
Okay.
And so instead of doing these trials now, I just said, fuck it. The headmaster's just gonna take them to the dragon. fuck the trial. I don't have time for this.
I don't have time for
Fair enough.
So I'm like, fuck it. He leads you down into the secret sapphire gem dungeon area. Inside this massive underground cave, they see the MCDM version of a sapphire dragon, which look more like aberrant mutinous dragon people.
Yeah, they look more like elementals than anything else.
Yeah. And in the MCDM book, and this is before the Forgotten Realms, or not Forgotten Realms, sorry, 5e version of Gemstone Dragons came out. So in the MCDM lore, Sapphire Dragons specifically stored knowledge, and they gather knowledge and collect it, and basically were like gatekeepers of forgotten lore. So I basically used the dragon like a hard drive.
Okay.
And basically lore dumped to the players that, long time ago, there was a hidden vanguard, the Dillian Order, and our players were like, oh, I remember those guys.
Doom.
Yep. And basically that they were a secret planar kind of vanguard protectors trying to deal with things that would destroy in the material plane. They were the protectors. This dragon that they finally learned, they were finally actually also because of the dragon lore dumping them. This dragon knew the name of the dragon, was able to, the evil dragon got it, and was able to tell the players. So now they can finally know the fucking name and would stop hearing white noise anytime they heard the dragon god name.
Please tell me his actual name was actually just white noise.
Just white noise, yeah.
Was it?
Oh, it was Furiex.
Damn it.
Instead of Garrix, yeah.
I wanted white noise.
No, yeah.
White
Isaiah
noise,
was saying he wanted his name to be White Noise.
Sag.
Yeah.
Written out.
Next time. Next dragon god.
Yeah, next dragon god's gonna be named White Mr. Noise.
Damn
Hell
it.
yeah. And basically you're like, fucking, whatever, thousands of years ago, whatever I said back in the day, this vanguard, the Dillian
Whatever
Order.
bullshit I said.
Whatever bullshit I said. The Dillian Order managed to banish this dragon goddess before she can destroy the world, and they basically imprisoned her in the Pondering Orb. Or not imprisoned her. They imprisoned the Abishai, I'm sorry, but they basically banished her and she couldn't come back to the material plane. And in doing so, they basically created a massive spell using I think I said high elven magic that basically wiped her name and memory from people's minds. And which is why nobody knew of the dragon cult or what god. That's why nobody could hear the dragon god anytime one of the followers would say it. To which my players were like, well, okay, then how did the followers fucking know about this? And basically what the Sapphire Dragon mentioned was that each one of the followers were basically given an insignia from the dragon god chosen, and they can basically learn of the goddess and get, some boons and, spells and shit from her.
Gibbity gobbity goopity.
Yeah, magic.
Magic bullshit.
Yeah. And so my player's like, all right, okay, we know the god. We know that she wants to just destroy the world, cause chaos, burn everything to the ground. Okay, sick. The fuck do we... How do we stop?
What do we do with that information?
Yeah. The Sapphire Dragon mentioned that the Dillian Order made an item specifically designed to destroy her and banish her and basically erase her existence. And how they basically separated the item into 5 different smaller items and, send them out into the world, which were the 5 teeth of the dragon. And our player's like, oh, it's like Dragon Ball Z. Oh shit, he did it.
It's like Dragon.
Okay.
So the dragon basically said you have to gather the five magic items, bring them together, go to the Dillian tomb that's in the Feywild, and you will build the item there using the anvil that was left there by the Dillian Order. And they're like, okay, sick. What? Wait a minute. What? Where are the other teeth? Why did they leave an anvil in the Feywild? What the fuck? And after that, they were told, they're like, okay, the next tooth is over in this swamp village on the other side, more down to the, I think of the southern part of the country, which is where Joe's new character, the lizard folk guy, was like, hey, that's where I'm from. I can help you guys out. And I can show you around and maybe fucking help you find this tooth thing. Yeah. So the players, they had a goal, they had a big story thing, and it's like, okay, cool. We're gonna be dealing with dragon cultists and dragons and fighting dragons. Sick. Can't wait.
Dragons.
Someday.
Yeah. Finally,
someday,
actually putting dragons in my Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's go.
Yeah. What else? They got to the village. The monk guy teleported them back. He's like, I can only do this 3 times a day, so I got one more trip. So he teleported the players to the swamp area.
Deleted before we can get home.
Teleported the players to the swamp area. Joe shows them around a little bit. It's like, imagine stereotypical bog town, kind of built on wooden planks, just floating above the dirty, mucky swamp water. I forgot what the god of lizard folk is. There's the god... fuck. I forgot what their name is. But the players are like, maybe we can, gather some help from the church. Let's go look at the local church. They go to the church and they see that a lot of the members are Yuan-ti. And the players are like, huh, that's strange. And the Yuan-ti immediately begin shitting bricks and being like, oh god, they found us! And the Yuan-ti, each one, they basically begin begging the players, listen, we're sorry, man, we repented. We're not worshiping the lizard folk god. We're trying to be good, I swear. Don't kill us. We saw what
Please
you did.
do not kill.
In the cavern. And the players are like, oh shit, yeah, there were some escaped Yuan-ti. Oh, we totally forgot about you guys.
Whoops.
You get a pass today.
This is that fucking the campaign 2 shit with the bandits where they're like, you're really bad at this. You just gotta just stop, dude. Just give up.
You're really
But yeah, they did that and they're like, okay, well, fuck you guys. They left. Couldn't find anything out in the town, so they began just exploring the swamp. Had a couple encounters with some venom trolls, a bunch of grung, just random swamp creatures, shambling mounds. Till finally they discovered a massive rock structured and hidden within led to an underground dungeon, which I ended up using. I think one of the Mad Mage dungeon maps, which is a huge underground swamp map, and I'm like, perfect, great. Filled it up with a fuck ton of Yuan-ti, or not Yuan-ti, lizard folk, dragon cultists. I used some stuff from the actual adventure in there.
No Repto.
Yeah, dude, it's so easy. Just steal from everything. It's fine. Don't worry.
No, Matt, that's not. All right, Matt,
No.
you did get.
Okay.
It's a joke for Brett specifically. We'll explain it after. It's really stupid.
Very dumb.
Oh my goodness.
But one of the things that happened and this is where Paladin 2's new character, the wild magic sorcerer, they get into a big combat, large area, ton of lizard folk around, and this is where his first ever wild magic goes off. And now I ended up ruling, because I like with wild magic, what I ended up doing just to make my life easier, I was like, hey Lynn, every time you roll the spell, just roll a d20 if it just so I don't have to keep track and I don't have to do this pass back and forth thing with you. And he's like, yeah, that's fucking awesome, let's do it. Because I think wild magic, it's like the DM tells you when.
The DM just tells you whenever the fuck they feel like it is.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's fucking. I'm like, dude,
dumb.
I don't want to keep. I got. Do you see all these lizard folk on this map? I can't. Yeah. I can barely keep track of this shit. Just anytime you roll spell above first level, just roll a d20 on top of that. If it's 1, you do the table. More chaos. And he's like, oh yeah, sick. I love more chaos. First time fucking happens. Rolls on the table, gets the uncontrollable. You get to roll the table every turn of combat for the next minute.
Oh,
they were in combat every fucking time. Oh, every single turn. So he got to roll like 10 times, I think, which is fun. I actually ended up finding in my notes all the results he rolled in order. Which the first one was he cast fly on a random creature at 60 feet of him, which I had him randomly rolled to determine who he cast the spell on.
Why did you jot this down?
Because I thought it'd be funny.
Fair enough.
Unorthodox display of hubris, but okay.
He's had a line, but he has a point.
I get it.
It is funny.
I
wrote down like specifically the funny moments, the hee hee ha ha. This is definitely one of those. I think he ended up targeting by accident a random dragon cultist. To which the dragon cultist was like, I can fly now. The goddess has given me flight. I'm gonna go warn the boss, and just flew off. The players were like, well, fuck, all right.
Well, fuck.
Like they definitely know we're coming. His skin turned blue.
Classic.
And he couldn't change it unless via remove curse spell. For the next minute, he had to shout everything he spoke.
Yep.
He gained resistance to all damage for the next minute, which is pretty good in a big fight. He heard faint ethereal music for the next minute in his ear. So on top of him shouting, he was also just like hearing just music being like, who's playing that? Cast mirror image on himself. He was frightened of the nearest thing until the end of his next turn. He cast grease on himself, which will be very important in a minute. God. He turned himself into a potted plant.
Classic.
Yep.
And then cast fireball directly on top of himself.
Okay. And he lit the grease, didn't he?
You knew he had to do it
And he was a potted plant, so the potted plant specifically, you are vulnerable to all damage. So just ignored that resistance he got a minute ago.
Oof. Hey, oof.
Hey, I mean, it kicks it to normal damage, so.
Yep. So he didn't die, but he was fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But with that fireball, he did take out the rest of the lizard folk cultists. So that day worked itself out.
I appreciate the kamikaze kill, fireballing oneself to kill their enemy because they just can't be fucked anymore. I appreciate you.
Yep.
I've done it.
And now after that, the players are like, all right, well, they fucking know we're here. Let's go follow in the direction that flying guy went. Flying guy managed to get to the Black Abishai, who was the boss of this area, who had I think he was the one that also had the black tooth of the dragon, because I don't think the players got that one back yet. So on top of the Black Abishai that I buffed up a little bit, he had the flying dude who was just random dragon cult mook, a dire troll, which if you guys haven't looked up what dire trolls are, they're the ones that like they're the trolls that eat other trolls and they mutate themselves. and they grow like extra limbs and mouths and heads and shit. They're
Why do
fucking,
I feel like I haven't seen this thing before?
they're
you
so
have.
fucking metal. They're so cool.
Definitely seen
Oh, I
that.
have. Yeah. These guys are metal as fuck.
They have this like Tasmanian devil like fucking tornado spin attack that just decimates shit out of everything.
Sick.
Uh,
Oh,
And also the Black
like
Abishai-
faces growing out of each other. Ugh.
yeah, right. Yeah, they have faces, extra mouths, extra like they have like not even like fully formed other arms. There's like one arm where like half a hand and like thingies are like kind of crawling out of it. It's weird.
This thing is nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not pleasant.
And what else?
No.
Oh, and then I think the guy had the Black Abishai had like 2 Hezro as well.
Oh.
Just because I'm like, yeah, Hezros are cool. Demons are cool.
because.
Demons are neat. Big boss fight. Players survived. You know, no more uncontrollable wild magic. Just regular wild magic. I think he accidentally cast fly on the guy, the one mook goon again.
The god has blessed me a god. I'm a god.
Basically. But the players they defeated the Black Abishai. Black Tooth of the Dragon was acquired. It became a little more powerful. They leveled up to level 15, and off we go to the next part of the adventure that I think I'll probably save next time.
All right, Matt.
Yeah.
How much more horse shit are we looking at?
No idea, to be honest.
Oh my goodness.
This is a 3.5 year game. This is a lot of shit happened.
Yeah.
All right, let's just
And
say
they're level 15.
the attempt, the plan. We did a lot of fucking around this episode. We probably could have been a little more on task.
It's fine. That's
That's where
fine.
the fun comes in.
The plan.
I kind of like you guys like talk. I felt bad the first 2 episodes because you guys didn't talk as much.
well,
I felt like I was just coming.
otherwise we'll be here until we fucking die.
That's fine. I'm gonna spread these out a little bit more.
We'll die of old age. All right, here's the plan. We'll shoot to finish next week.
No. Remember, I literally just said
No.
No.
We're not getting off this ride.
No,
Nope.
I'm the wheel.
You're being outvoted, Matt. We're not getting off this ride.
That's unfortunate. All right, hold on. Wait, you said this is a vote.
How
All
is he
right,
getting outvoted? You're the only one who voted.
all right, Isaiah.
Not on my
what's the vote? What's the verdict
we
here?
probably shouldn't
Tiebreaker?
do this live. Why are we doing this live? This is not.
Definitely, I know. I mean, I like that this is like the return of the episode of Matt. No, I'm fine with us like cycling out and coming back.
Yeah, I'd like the idea of like cycling it out. I think it's. I even wrote it in. I'm like, I want to cycle these out. I want A to not host, and also B, I feel like it'd be nice breather, give people some space rather than just
All right,
like.
I don't want to
chugging
have
them
the
all.
just wrap us up. Just wrap it us. We'll talk about this later. This is not on recording conversation.
Why not? That's
Why
fine.
not?
Yeah.
Nobody needs to hear our dirty laundry.
Who cares?
Me, I care. It's for production quality. Now we look like
I
idiots.
fucking guess.
Now we look like idiots.
God, now
Now
they
we
know
look more
feel
like
South
idiots
Park
'cause you're
fucking
making a big
YouTube
deal out of
videos.
it.
Damn it. Just wrap us up, man.
Yeah. So yeah, what did I learn this week from all this? Best laid plans can always just burn in a trash fire.
Yes, the best laid plans never survive first contact with the enemy.
Yep.
Players, Isaiah, the player.
I mean,
The players, Isaiah. We're not.
I know what I said. And I said
Maybe
what
I
meant.
could have again dragged the whole boat thing. Maybe I could have signaled it a bit better that
I mean,
I didn't
probably.
want them to fight. But
Lay fucking shrug.
yeah. What else? Yeah, I think yeah. And now I this is the I call the dragon cult arc that we're in now, gathering the dragon balls. I mean the dragon teeth, magic
Dragon
items.
balls. Wait, but there was 5 teeth.
There's 5 teeth. Yeah. No, that's fine. We don't need the other 2. We need Storm Boy.
We don't need the other two. Okay.
But yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Tune in next time to find. Will my players find the other teeth? Will this campaign ever come to an end? Will Krug finally get that 1v1 with that Githyanki captain?
Negative.
I feel like
Yes.
the answer's no to that.
Yeah, no, he had that fucking captain never shows back.
Yeah, I figured.
Fuck you.
I tried.
I figured.
But that's a story for another time. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Matt?
Yeah. Oh, right. We never did our plug in the beginning. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Yo, Josh, hit him with the plug.
So exasperated. If you'd be so kind, hit the follow and subscribe button on your podcast platform of choice. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I've already hit that button many, many moons ago. I can't hit the button again. What else am I supposed to do? Maybe, just tell a friend. Be like, hey, this podcast I found. Maybe show it to them. Maybe you have another friend who's a D&D nerd who's looking for something to listen to. That's not an actual play, because there's 60 million of those out there. Just send them our way. And then they can hit the subscribe button. And then follow us on Twitter for updates. And, leave a comment if you want to tell me I'm wrong and that I'm a shithead or whatever you're arguing with Isaiah and Matt. That's all.
Superman.
Superman? Okay.
Bye.
Bye, motherfuckers. I'm out.